Vasiliy Lomachenko has officially retired from the sport of boxing at age 37. This guy has one of the greatest amateur boxing records of all time. He had 396 wins and only one loss, with that loss avenged twice. So some can say that he basically was undefeated with damn near 400 wins in the amateurs. He won the silver medal at the 2007 World Championships, gold at the 2008 European Championships, consecutive gold at the 2008 and 2012 Olympics, and consecutive gold at the 2009 and 2011 World Championships. What a great career for Lomachenko. Unfortunately, in his professional career, he did fall up short once he stepped up his level of competition. He suffered his first loss in his second professional fight against Orlando Salido. Then he came back and beat Gary Russell Jr. I believe Gary Russell Jr. was undefeated at the time. Many people thought he was next up. He knocked out Jorge Linares. He beat Jose Pedraza. He beat Luke Campbell. Then he suffered his second loss against a young Teofimo Lopez. I think Teo was only 23 at the time that he beat Lomachenko. I actually watched that fight live. That was the first fight that I saw live of Lomachenko. I remember that fight was on ESPN for free. Man, I wish boxing was still on TV for free, bruh. Those were the glory days, man. But yeah, this fight was on ESPN for free. Then he beat Richard Comey. He beat Jermaine Ortiz by unanimous decision. And then he suffered his third loss against Devin Haney, which is a very controversial fight. Me personally, I had Devin Haney winning that fight by unanimous decision. I think Devin Haney won 7 out of the 12 rounds. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion. Wait, would that be split decision or unanimous decision? Either way, I had Devin Haney winning that fight. He won the fight on the scorecards by unanimous decision. But yeah, I gave 7 rounds to Devin in that fight. I think Devin dominated the early rounds. But Lomachenko gave him a hell of a fight. Obviously, Teofimo Lopez did a better job at beating Loma than Devin did. But then he came back and he knocked out George Kambosos, man. And that's a statement because George Kambosos beat Teofimo Lopez. And, Devin Haney, he beat George Kambosos twice by unanimous decision, pretty much won every round. So after Lomachenko knocked out George Kambosos, everybody was expecting Lomachenko to fight Gervonta Tank Davis, but we found out that Lomachenko decided to take the rest of 2024 off. He did not want to come back and fight Tank. So after that, we never heard anything else, man. Shakur Stevenson, he's been calling out Lomachenko for about 2 years now. Lomachenko obviously has no interest in fighting Shakur Stevenson, and he has no interest in fighting Gervonta Davis. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, man. The reason why Lomachenko is retiring is because he doesn't want to further damage his legacy. This man's 37 years old, right? He had 400 amateur fights. And why, let's be honest, guys. Why would Lomachenko at 37, why would he want to fight Gervonta Tank Davis or Shakur Stevenson? Really think about that, right? Lomachenko called out Gervonta Davis 6 years ago when Gervonta Davis was still in his early 20s, and Gervonta Davis didn't want to fight him. I remember Floyd Mayweather had a press conference where he literally said out of his mouth that he wanted to make Gervonta Tank Davis fight Lomachenko next. The next day, Gervonta Davis went on Twitter and said that he's not ready to fight Lomachenko, and Floyd Mayweather is trying to set him up to lose, and Floyd doesn't want him to stay undefeated. So Gervonta Davis ducked Lomachenko, right? So now that Gervonta Davis is 30 and Lomachenko is 37 and he's already lost to Teo and Devin, I think the fact that Gervonta waited this late to try to fight Lomachenko is cowardly. So I don't knock Lomachenko for not wanting to fight Gervonta Tank Davis. And then you got Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson, I believe, is 28. Let me look it up real quick. Let me do a little Google search for y'all boys. You know what I'm saying? So I don't tell y'all no lies. You feel me? We keep it 100 over. Yeah, Shakur Stevenson is 27 years old. Obviously, he's undefeated. But we all know that Shakur Stevenson, he's like the Usain Bolt of boxing. He does a lot of running. He does a lot of jumping into the ropes, right? He just does not have an entertaining fighting style. Why the hell would Lomachenko want to fight Shakur Stevenson? I mean, really. You know what I'm saying? And guys, let's be honest, right? Let's say Lomachenko fought Gervonta and Shakur and he lost to both of them. Or let's say that, you know, he beats Gervonta and he loses to Shakur. It's still going to further damage his legacy because it's proven that Lomachenko was not as dominant in his professional boxing career as he was in his amateur boxing career. So Lomachenko was looking at it like, I'm almost 40 years old. All of these guys that want to fight me, they're all young. They're all in their late 20s, early 30s. I'm going to just call it a career. And I think this is a very smart decision for Vasiliy Lomachenko. I think that other athletes should take notes, man. You know, players like LeBron James. Like, I don't understand why LeBron James is 40 years old. He's a billionaire. And he's still chasing championships when he already has 4. It just doesn't make any sense to me, bro. I wish athletes would learn when to walk away from the sport before it's too late. Another example is Roy Jones Jr. I mean, this guy, you know, he won championships in multiple divisions. And if he would have just retired, you know, once he hit that last division that he was planning on moving up to, Roy Jones might be considered the GOAT. But because he decided to keep boxing and he didn't want to stop, and he fought well into his 40s and, you know, up into his 50s. Now Roy Jones is not considered, you know, a top 3, you know, boxer of all time by many fans because of the way that his career ended. You understand what I'm saying? So let me know what you guys think about this video. Subscribe, follow your boy, share the video, leave a comment. I'm out.